Hello and welcome to Ellen Ruth's Soap. I'm Ellen and today I am making a Moon Embed soap using this fragrance from Be Scented, Midnight Bourbon. Oh, this smells good. It's fine. I like these sort of masculine cologne, if you will, but not cloying cologne scents. Let me read you the scent description for this fragrance. It has top notes of bergamot, clove leaf and peppercorn, middle notes of bourbon, a dash of lavender, complemented by bottom notes of amber, leather, and soft musk. Well, it just smells fine to me. That's what I think it smells like. It's really good. So Moon Embeds. The way that I do it is I have my little 2-inch PVC molds here that I've just cut to a length. I got a big section and my husband sawed it up for me. And the way that I keep my soap from sticking in there is these are just little flexible cutting boards you can get at any dollar store, Walmart, Amazon. I'll try to find a link down below. And I cut it to fit in here and they unmold like a breeze. The way that I seal the bottom, you can get caps for these. I don't have caps. What I do have is little ramekins that this can sit in. And I put just a teeny bit of melt and pour in the bottom and melt it. I pop this in the microwave, melt the melt and pour, plop my little PVC mold in there and let it harden up. And it makes a nice base to hold this, and it is leak proof. It's wonderful. I have never had a leak when I do the melt and pour, and literally just like a 1/4 inch or less, just enough to kind of seal the lip on the bottom. And that is how I make my Moon Embed molds. So let's talk about the colors today. So I've got my Moon Embeds, and then I'm going to do layers. So I want to do sort of a greenish, nighttime, mountainy, hilly region. And for that, the color I'm going to use from Workshop Heritage is Jungle Green, which is gorgeous. I've soaped with this color before. It is lovely. So Jungle Green, along with a little swirl of Cheshire Cat from Nurture Soap. And I might add a little bit of my dark gray mica in here to kind of muddy it up and make it sort of dark. You know how shadows on mountains get those colors? So anyway, these are going to be the bottom layer colors. And then for the sky that's going to surround the moon, I'll be using a combination. I'll do an in the pot swirl with my neutral gray mica. And this, I might add a touch of this to the purple, is what I was talking about. So neutral gray mica with, I'm going to do a little of this, what is it now? Shimmer White Clouds mica from Wholesale Supplies Plus for just a little wispiness of white in there for clouds. But then the other portion of the sky, I've already measured this out, so it's empty, but Stormy Blue mica from Brambleberry. And you can't really, let me see if there's a little, you can't really see the color. It's already mixed in the pot. You'll see it in the soap. It's gorgeous. So those are going to be sort of the swirly nighttime sky colors, and then we'll put the Moon Embeds in there, and hopefully this will layer up and look really pretty, sort of like a full moon landscape. But this Midnight Bourbon smells fine. I'll be doing a goat milk and oil method today. And I think that's it. I'm going to get everything pulled together and get prepped, and let's come back and make some wonderful Midnight Bourbon. I haven't decided what I'm going to call this yet. Let's make some soap. All right, it's time to move forward and get all my additives in, my oils and butters here. And I do have the fragrance already in here since I am going to be splitting this up. I thought it would just be easier to handle, and it got good reviews that it didn't accelerate trace and all that. So fragrance is already in with the oils and butters. Now I'm going to add my dry ingredients, my kale and clay. I've got 2 tablespoons here and 2 tablespoons of colloidal oats. And my farm fresh goat milk, which I have water discounted from the lye solution to make room for this. So I'm going to get this all blended up and let it just absorb in while my lye solution is cooling. Then I'm going to get it split up, and we'll get to layering with those really cool Moon Embeds in here. So anyway, let's get it blended. I'm back, and I've got all of my oils split into 3 portions, all of my lye split into 3 portions, and now I'm going to do the bottom layer, which is sort of my quasi mountain layer. And I just wanted that to set up till I get to the next layer so it will support those Moon Embeds. I don't want them to sink to the bottom because, you know, they're a little bit weighty. Anyway, Isn't that just, I'm just loving these moon embeds. So let's get the lye in here, and I'm just going to get it up to a very light trace, and we'll get the colors in and all that good stuff. Boy, let me just tell you real quick here. This fragrance smells really, really nice. If you like very sort of masculine, cologne-y, bourbon-y, I don't know, sort of jazz club smell, this is really good, which, you know, I tend to like those scents, so I'm happy. All right, let me get the lye poured in here. And again, we're just going for a light trace, and we'll get the colors blended. And that's one of the reasons why I do like to split it up, is because now I have time. I can get this poured in and I'm not in a rush, and I just don't like that sort of panic feeling when everything's going really fast on you and you're like, oh no, and that's just not my happy place. So if I can do things in bite-sized pieces, I'm much happier. Now, of course, this does have a little vanillin in it, and it does discolor to a light tan, but what you're seeing here, that color morph, is the goat milk caramelizing with the lye. So that's that color morph. But let's get a little bit off here for that purple. I wanted that green and purple, you know, purple mountain majesty. I love looking at nature and the colors, and they're usually not, you know, like when you look at grass, it's not just green. There's so many other colors in there. So I thought the addition of the purple in the mountain region would, you know, kind of add maybe a shadowy sort of look. And it's a dark purple, and I may actually, I'm going to add just a touch of the natural gray in there to keep it on the really kind of dark plummy side. There we go. And we'll see if I like that. I can add a little more, but let's get these colors blended in. All right, a little change of plans. I actually put the last 2 layers in here because this fragrance is so well behaved. It's a very slow trace. I had to wait a little while before I could texture my mountain region. So anyway, this is both of the other thirds. And here is my very full lye solution. Pour it down the shaft there so it doesn't splash. I'm gonna get this blended up, get our colors made, and then I'll hopefully pour a little bit, get it up to a thick enough trace where it will suspend those moons. So let's get to mixing and coloring. It's the next day. It's been about 20 hours since we got this in the mold. I'm hoping it's firm enough to get out of the mold. Isn't that swirly top pretty? I wasn't sure what to do, and the moon embeds were right at the top, so I didn't really want to scoop it. So I think that came out really nice. Kind of a last minute, decision there, but sometimes those are the best. So it smells really good in the studio today. The scent retention is nice on this, I can say that. And boy, this fragrance was a dream to work with. Just a nice slow trace. I wouldn't say that it slowed down trace, but it was very nice to work with. It didn't speed it up at all. Smells fantastic. Can't wait to get in here and see how it all looks. Back with my lovely Olga, and I wanted to tell you real quick, the color swirl in my moon embeds is this silver mist from Nurture Soap. It is such a lovely pale gray lavender, so that's the color that's in the moon embeds. I forgot to mention that earlier, so wanted to remember that. So let's get these lovely logs in the soap cutter here. Very anxious to see what they look like on the inside. The colors, all of that. So fun. Kind of feels like Christmas morning when I cut a soap. I get so excited. Ooh, all right, that's the sample piece. Let's get into the nitty gritty here. There. Oh, those are pretty. I'm loving the colors. Those moons are so big and bright. It's definitely a big moon, big full moon. What should I call these? Midnight bourbon, midnight moon, full moon. Oh boy, I wish y'all were here to help. I'll think of something. I'm loving the little in the pot swirly mountains. Very subtle, but I think it's really cool. Normally when I do a moon embed soap, I do activated charcoal, and I wanted to try something different this time. And I'm really happy with the colorscape on it. Oh, that's a pretty swirl down there. And the tops. Yeah, I'm really loving these. I sure wish y'all could smell them. Somebody's going to invent smell-o-vision. And that'll be so awesome, won't it? It's going to happen one of these days, I bet. I mean, think about before photography was invented, they thought capturing a picture, in a box was, almost parallel with magic. And so if they can make a picture, you can make smell-o-vision. I don't know how, but I just in my mind, I know somebody out there is smart enough to do it.